cover the peer review workshop. What it is, how we're going to do it, why it's important. Number one, let's start with what it is. So, for writing, we know that writing is a process. Nothing just comes out, boom, naturally perfect all at once. Nope. All writers follow a series of steps, right? Everything from drafting to brainstorming. And the next one is writing a rough draft, which will be our next step. And then having a workshop where other writers look at your writing and offer feedback so that you can bounce back information. And whenever we are in the classroom, we do so like this. We generally bring in a rough draft. We bring in 3 copies. And we exchange with them like, hey, John, let's trade drafts. Hey, Maria, let's trade drafts. Hey, Janet, let's trade drafts. So you trade drafts and you mark up the text, you write all over it, and you leave feedback. And then you sit down with the person and have a conversation about it. You don't just say, here, it was good, and walk away. No, you look at one another and say, hey, listen, Janet, so here's some things that I saw in your draft. And you go over your notes. That's essentially it. So how we're going to do it is like this. First of all, the peer review workshop, each one is worth 20 points. So it's 5 points for turning in your rough draft in on time. And then the Canvas system distributes drafts to only those who submitted a draft of their own. Submitted 3 gives you 3 drafts to leave feedback for, and those are each 5 points. So 5 points for turning in a rough draft, and 5 for each person that you leave feedback for, which will be 3. So that's 20 points. So first of all, our deadline is, I have that right? Am I looking? Sorry, I got a little bit confused for a moment. Yeah. It's because sometimes like my different classes, like they cross wires in my mind. My bad. Okay, so first of all, the rough draft is more than a brainstorm. It's more than just bullet point ideas. It's you actually just getting started at writing your paper. Just get started. And here's the thing about rough drafts. You ready? There is no such thing as a perfect draft. I'll say that again. There is no such thing as a perfect draft. And I'll be as crass as possible. You just want to just vomit out your ideas, no matter how disjointed, no matter how disorganized, no matter how messy, no matter how all over the place it may be. Just get it all out. Just start writing. And you're going to write at least 2 pages, okay, for your rough draft. So just start your essay, okay? And the rough draft is going to be due by this Wednesday. Pay attention to that. By 11:59 p.m. So submit your rough draft into this assignment link by then. And what's going to happen, actually, I'm going to leave an announcement, so check it out. That's going to explain how to actually open your drafts. But what's going to happen is that only for those of you who submitted who submitted the rough draft in on time by its deadline, then the Canvas system will automatically distribute exactly 1 minute after this deadline. So right at Thursday, September 30, right at 12 a.m., the Canvas system will distribute it, and you'll have until Sunday to leave feedback on it. And I'll show you how that's going to work and our tools. So, at the end of your rough draft, write down things that you want your peer reviewer to look at, to consider. Maybe you're a little bit worried that your intro is a little bit funny, or you got stuck somehow, you got writer's block, and maybe you want some ideas, or whatever it is. Just write down a note of what you would like your reviewer to look at as they open your draft. So have some little questions at the end of your rough draft so that they can look at. And the Canvas system will distribute 1 minute after this deadline. So right Thursday, September 30, right at 12 a.m. And remember, only if you submit a draft in on time will you get the rough drafts from your classmates distributed to you. Only then, because the deadline happens in real time and the Canvas system is programmed to distribute to only those who submitted it on time. I know you can't use your homework pass on it. Just get it in. Okay, so let's actually talk about what the logistics of it will be like. And I want to show you here, in my Citrus class, they've actually already had their rough draft. I'm just going to show you the tools that Canvas allots us. So you have to do 2 things. Number 1, you have to mark up the draft as you're reading it. and leave the little notes. Number 2, you want to leave them a comment, right? And I'll show you how to do that. So let's talk about the tools. This one right here is just if you want to expand it completely. This one right here is just the cursor. If you want to return to a cursor, that does nothing. This one is if you want to leave a little comment. It's like, yes, this is a good start. By the way, I'm not doing this based on the actual content of it. I'm just showing you the tools. This one right here is to highlight. Let's say you want to highlight something. And here is the colors that you can choose from. What's cool about everything that you do here is that you'll have the opportunity to leave a comment. Consider blah, 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 blah. Okay, this one is if you want to leave a text box. So literally like, yes, something like that. I don't know. This one is if you want to strike out text. Maybe this is extraneous. And so you go, oops, sorry about that. I'm trying to do this. Oh yeah, I guess I was having trouble. That's interesting. I guess double click what you want to. Okay, so maybe you could say, this is extraneous. Consider blah, 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 blah. This little paintbrush is exactly what it sounds like. Maybe you want to put like a huge exclamation mark. Watch out for blah, blah, blah. And this one is if you want to box a text like so. This is an important turning point because blah, 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 blah. Okay, so those are our tools. So the next thing, after you've read the rough draft and you've marked it up and you've left those marginal comments and notes, is that you want to do what's the equivalent of actually sitting down with the person saying, hey, listen, Janet, here's some things that I saw in your paper. This was a good intro. Just watch out for this, that, and the third. And you go over your notes. So you can do one of two things. Number one, hey, Janet, I read your draft and blah, 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 whatever. Or you can do my favorite one, which is media. Go to here, this little play button. And yeah, you can literally just go start recording. Hey, Janet. Oh, and then what you can actually do is to have in another web page, have this open. So look, let me show you what I mean. I'm looking at the one for my other school, which is Citrus. So they have actually already started theirs. So let me find it just so that I can show you what it is that I mean. I say prompt. There we go. This is what we're looking at. Okay, so have this open at the same time. Okay, so have the document open so that you can be looking at your notes and leaving them a video comment, right? So you can be doing it like that. Start recording and leave them a message. If you don't want to show your face or you don't want to use the webcam, you can go to webcam and go to no video and you can leave just audio alone. Hey, Janet, and then same thing, have it open so you can be looking at it, so you can be going over your comments to them. So those are the two things that I want you to do to get credit for your feedback. If you have any questions, please let me know. Now let's return to our Canvas page here. All right, we went over that. And here is the Success Center requirement. Make sure to get that in by Friday. And here's the assignment link for the MLA practice worksheet. All right, with that, I wish you a lovely, lovely week. Keep working hard and enjoy your days and do something fun like ride a bike or go running.